Hey guys, it's Lethit here. As you know, some kind taxi driver wrote my car off for me last week, and I'll be getting a brand new VR4 Legnum. So sad to be leaving the club, most likely, but unfortunate that I do have some parts to sell, which is fortunate for you, as they should be pretty good prices. So this is just a quick little tour of what I've got. First item up, it's a standard leather wheel. This is not the VRX leather wheel. It doesn't have the Momo or the perforated leather inserts. It's in very good condition. If you look at the wheel, basically, you know, it's relatively good condition. There is a little bit of marking up the top here that'll mostly come out, you know, with a little leather polish. But I mean, overall, the wheel, it's very, very good. There's no real major wear. Does not come with the cruise control airbag thing, but that'll just bolt off any standard third-gen wheel. Now, this is a VRX leather wheel. Now this is much like the Momo wheel, but it doesn't say Momo. It's almost identical. It's got the perforated inserts. Now this comes full with the airbag mounts and also the cruise control switch. Now this is not the one that was in an accident. I did have a rally art wheel in my accident, but that's the second frontal collision it's been in with the airbags going off, and my horn was a smidge crooked on it. So I don't want to sell that to someone. I've just left it in the wreck because, you know, you don't want the airbag mount to be out of place and that sort of thing. So this one is still perfectly good, uncrashed. Now this is quite worn. Yeah, the left side, it's not too bad. Just try to refocus. There we go. Now the right side, however, is not great. Now I spent a lot of time cleaning this up with leather conditioner, so it's not going to get a whole lot better. It is quite worn from the shiny leather down to sort of the softer leather. So this is on my car for 125,000 Ks. It was a limited edition, came with it from factory. So there's that wheel. Next up, we've got a full center console setup. This includes the aircon sort of climate controlled radio surround. Now this is a standard grey, not the VRX grey, the lighter silver. I've got the associated pouch for putting your sunglasses in, and I've also got the center console section, which is here. Now the cup holder works, it retains, open, shut, and also has power window switches. Now it is slightly marked, just general wear and tear, a few little marks, but the overall condition is very good. There's no major scratching. It's not too bad. The center console and this bit are actually pretty good. The air conditioning and this bit are pretty good. It's mainly the center console with a bit of marking. Now I've got a full set of black door trims. These are all in very good condition. They have very little scuff marking. In fact, they have no scuff marking, as you can see here. All very good, no scuffing at all. That's the two rear ones, and here's the two front ones. Now, this one does have a slightly snapped screw thing, but it doesn't stop it from screwing it in, and it doesn't make it sit funny or anything like that. So they're both fantastic condition, no scuffs whatsoever. I have an engine mount. This is the rear engine mount. Now, it is cracked through on one side, and starting on the other side. So you can see, very slight movement. It'll be better in a dead one, but most importantly, if you buy it, you can get your own polyurethane mount put in for probably about $60, whereas it's about 135 to get a total. So I won't be charging much for that, but it might help someone that wants to get their own mount made up. I've got a fuel filter. This is unused. It's an FAS fuel filter, as you can see here. I was going to put this on my car, but obviously don't need it now. The part number is FFF528. That's completely unused. I would say sealed in box, the box is open, but it's definitely unused. I've got a boot lid carpet, black boot lid carpet. It's in very good condition, no real, marks or holes or wear. That's pretty good. I bought this off Mel in Adelaide at MMX for about $75. Now this doesn't come with any of the plastic screws, which you will need to get, so I'll adjust the price accordingly. This is for a non-VRX, so a standard front bumper. It's the TW number plate spacer. It does have a slight crack on this side, but it certainly doesn't stop it from working. You can't really see it. Slightly sort of warped on that corner, but yeah, this sits up perfectly. It makes your bumper sit off, stops your bumper from scratching up your paint. And plastic against plastic, much better than your metal. Sorry, stops your number plate from scratching the paint. This is a fuel sender. This is free to anyone. The fuel sender is broken, but it also incorporates the fuel pump and float assembly. So if you had like a broken float or a broken fuel pump, you can have that for free, postage if you need it, but the fuel sender definitely does not work. If you say you had a broken pump, you can swap the fuel sender off. This is just the pocket. If you've got a single DIN stereo, This will bolt into the center console surround over there, or you can leave it out for a double din, whether it's your own or the factory double din. This is a short shifter. It's made by RPW. If you compare it to the standard shifter, basically they've moved the whole pivot point up. Now this comes with, there's 3 aluminium tube spacers and 3 bolts which bolt this in. This is all you need to put the short shifter in, 100%. I drove with it in my car for about 6 months. Fantastic. I much preferred the shorter shift. I put the standard one back in, and it's just a little bit all over the shop. It takes a long way to change gears, so that's great. Short shifter. Now I've got a set of interior interior mats. So these are custom made. It's got Mitsubishi imprinted on the scuff and VRX embroidered on the front mats and on the boot mat. You can see this is a boot mat. Now the boot mat is in fantastic condition. It does need a vacuum, but I promise it comes up black as black, no marks. All the embroidery and everything is all fantastic. So the boot mat would be a good buy. The front mats are definitely worn. I won't be charging very much for those. The rear mats are also in very good condition. Once again, they probably need a vacuum, but they come up really well. And it most importantly protects your stock carpet from general wear and tear, which should increase your resale value. So yeah, those mats, as I said, the front ones won't be much, but more importantly, you probably want the rear and boot mats. We'll be happy to sell the boot mat separately. So that's a quick tour of what I've got for now. I'll be finding out if I'm buying the wreck back or not. Oh, I forgot the most important one, the strut brace. Nearly forgot the strut brace. So white line strut brace, good condition, it's not been bent at all. Yes, this was on the car during the crash, but my struts were not bent at all. It was only the main chassis at the front. Came off, all looks fine. That bolts straight on, you don't need anything else for that. Obviously welcome you on to inspect, but it was perfectly fine. It was easy to get off, so it shouldn't be bent at all because it just pops straight off. So right, that's pretty much all I've got. I'll post up prices in the thread. Thanks very much, guys. I hope someone can make use of some of these parts.